We're here. We're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the most B team start we've ever had.
That's the second time in so many days that this thing has cut off our intro. I don't know what I'm doing. Apparently,
we'll get there. It's first show of the season. A little rough, I guess. It's the first time the B team is back. We're all back. We got the band back together again. Feels good. I love doing the preview shows with everybody and the whole gang. But it's great having the crew back together.
Ben was not late today.
He wasn't. I'm amazed. Ben
was not late today.
Well done, sir.
Turning over a new leaf, fellas.
I'm very proud.
We'll see how many weeks it lasts.
On time, new classy background. I mean, you got to love it. What a stud. But we are, as always, brought to you today by our title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. It's got 10 locations all over South Dakota, one just over the border in Iowa. And go there, get some orange equipment. I'd say they do parts and service, but you're probably not going to need them because they just don't break down. All sorts of implements and any sort of equipment you may need for your house, farm, or homestead. Go ahead and give Kubota Dealers South Dakota a call. They will treat you right. They do a great job down there. And they're a big sponsor of the Jacks as well, on top of us. So thank you so much to them for being our title sponsor. And, of course, we would be remiss if we didn't bring up the fact that Ben still owes me some goddamn Scoopy tokens from last year. They remain unrepaid. And I bring that up because the B-Team show sponsor is Culver's of South Dakota, where you can get the best Butterburgers in the land. I know Ben had a tweet out where somebody was talking like that food is what fast food looks like on like a sitcom. And that's just what it looks like all the time because that's how good it is. It's phenomenal. So they're the best. Thank you, Culver's. Scoopy tokens. Someday I'll get my Butterburger and Scoopy tokens, maybe. I'm just glad that I brought the hot dog costume myself down to Frisco, or I don't know if you could have been trusted to bring one yourself and wear it.
It could have got forgotten.
So I don't even know if you can buy. I'm gonna have to buy like multiple kids meals to get. You can't just buy Scoopy tokens.
It's not up to me how you get the Scoopy tokens. Okay. You just made a bet that involves Scoopy tokens.
I would suggest going to Brookings and talking to the guys we know.
I can probably talk to him, but otherwise, also I think you have to be a child to redeem a Scoopy token. You might have to. You can do say this is for my child.
Mm-hmm.
Culver's, thank you. Always good. Like I said on the tweet, it's like the best fast food you can get. And Kubota, like I said in my tweet today, their machines they're nice. Like you kind of every time you like look at a machine doing work and it's a Kubota, you're like, that's a nice machine. I can only imagine that they're also good to operate. But anyway, we should talk about some football.
Some football, yeah. I suppose is there a game this weekend? I heard it's on like the ESPN Plus and such.
Yeah. Big game going down to Oklahoma State. I will be down there, and Chad will be down there. Brendan will not.
Nope.
Other obligations.
Yep.
Sadness. Getting in the way.
Did tweet out and put on the SDSU Facebook page like an area that SDSU fans can gather up. Somebody asked, we're not doing any provided stuff this time with Save That Party for Frisco. So bring your own everything, but we do encourage fans to meet up and tailgate together right next to the baseball field, actually. So looking forward to seeing everybody down there. Other
Jim
than that,
trying to mess with us. It's on Flow Sports. It is not on Flow Sports. Get out of here! I just looked at the schedule. You funny guy.
Where do we want to start with this game? I know
it's on ESPN Plus.
As far as like simulations and stuff, my kids have been playing College Football 25, and we've been winning like 70-6 like every time.
It's basically written in stone. I'm sure everything is dead accurate on our roster on there too. I'm sure it's exactly how it is.
Yeah, so I would. That's a strong indication. No, I'm waiting for them to come up with expansion. I haven't heard anything about that yet. I'm excited to play as actual SDSU players, but um, no, super excited about the game. It feels like I keep looking for information on this game, and all they want to talk about is Ollie Gordon. Like, yeah, I know he's
Dude's
really
a freak.
and dude's really really good, and he's going to be on Heisman candidate. So that, I mean, that's, I think, the top thing, and the most intriguing thing about this game is facing a talent like that, that high of a caliber that we just haven't seen before. Um, and so it'll be really fun to see how we, um, I don't know, how we do against somebody like that.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Chad.
I was
I
just
heard the
gonna
prep.
say they have some dudes as wide receivers too. They have Rashad Owens from last year, Dejon Stribling. They both had a lot of yards, and they have this just like burner dude at slot, Brendan Priestley. So there's other weapons they have. Their quarterback's been there for 2 years there, but he's been like it's like his 7th year or something as a quarterback. So apparently he took a big step forward this year. So I've heard.
Yeah. Well, they're basically like an FBS version of us last year, with the amount they have returning and everything. And their offense is going to be great, and it all hinges around Ollie Gordon. I mean, he's a monster, and I don't think it's fair to hope to shut him down. You hope to contain someone of that talent. It's like when teams would go against us with Isaiah or Pierre Strong or Zach Zenner. Like, you weren't shutting them down. You had to try to just hold them down enough to get off the field. And I think that's going to be a huge, obviously a huge test for the defense. They've got another transfer who came in at running back as well, that sounds like they're going to rotate Gordon off more with, so that way he's fresher for his NFL career and things like that. So that guy is also really good. I think, where'd he come from?
Trent Howard, and I think he came
Yeah.
from where did he come from?
SEC team or something, I believe.
SEC team, I want to say.
And
Arkansas,
and
maybe?
I think
No,
Arkansas.
Indiana.
There you go.
Oh,
geez.
so not an SEC team.
Not
Wrong.
at all.
Everybody knows who they're listening to. You guys know what's up. We'll get it. Hey, we'll give you the right info eventually.
Well, their number two running back actually is out hurt. That's a transfer in AJ Green, and maybe he's the one we were thinking that came from the other place. But
well, don't lean too hard on that, so we sound like we're right.
They did release their depth chart, and surprisingly, that transfer that they were all high on from Indiana, Trent Howland, I think is his name, ended up third on the depth chart behind that Valai High, however you say his name. I mean, they've got a loaded backfield.
CC Vallejo, I think is how you say it.
There you go. As far as, it'll be interesting to see how much they spread the ball around, though, because I mean, last year they just relied on Ollie Gordon so much. I looked at their stats, and there wasn't another guy that had more than, I think it was 50 carries was the next most carries, and so I mean, they just pounded him the ball. The interesting thing about Ollie Gordon's success last year, and he ran, I think it was like 1,700 yards. He piled up. He had two massive games against West Virginia and Cincinnati, almost 300 yards in those. But one thing I did notice, I started to look into some of the games where he had success versus where some of the games where he did not. There were some games, like, for example, UCF, which I don't know exactly what happened in that game. They lost 3-45 against UCF.
Yes.
And Ollie Gordon only had 12 carries for 25 yards in that game. What's that?
It was kind of a
go ahead.
Kind of the tale of two seasons, is they didn't like ride their horse until after that game. Not that game. Maybe he got hurt.
That was later.
That was later. You're right. Yeah, that was like their third to last game.
Yeah, that was later. That was after his couple 300-yard games, and then they beat Oklahoma, which was kind of the highlight of their season, which made me think of it kind of they kind of feel
Don't
like,
do it. Don't do it.
well,
I know where you're going here.
they kind of feel like
Don't do it.
USD
He's
does to
doing it.
us.
He's doing
It's
it.
where, like, I mean, honestly, so like they beat their big rival.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good season outside of that. They got whooped by Texas in the Big 12 championship, and then they won a bowl game, which we all know the bowl games are jokes anymore. All the players sit
All you
out.
got to do is be over 500.
Yeah, and so I mean
Right.
they, I mean they've been Oklahoma's little brother for a long time. They did beat them last year, but anyway, back to Ollie Gordon. So what I
Mhm.
found was that when he uh, had over 120 yards rushing, it was with a defense that was ranked 42nd or worse in rush defense in all of FBS. If he was under 120 yards, it was against teams that were 37th or better in rush defense. All that is to say that when they face a tough rush defense, he obviously didn't have as much success, which, I mean, yeah, duh. But I mean, my point is that I think that he's their offensive line and he is susceptible to being stopped. I mean, yeah, sometimes when you have these Heisman guys, it does not matter who you play, and he's going to get his. But he did struggle against good rush defenses last year, and that is one thing that we're very good at. I mean, we went a ton of games without allowing a 100-yard rusher, and I assume we were like the top 3 in rushing defense last year. So
Well, and if you watch, like, I watched some of his highlight films and all that stuff that are out there. That's not hard to find. Um, and when you watch those films, and this is not a knock on him at all. This is just how good he is. When he busts it open and busts a big run, it is solo tackle. He's got a guy, or one guy's got him lined up, and he makes that guy miss. He just does. He's going to make that guy miss. You need backup. You need the team flowing behind, and those plays where you don't, he's going to kill you if you don't have good flow to the ball from your defense, which was a strength of ours last year. Now we assume it will be this year. It's a Jimmy Rogers defense. They're gonna pursue the ball, and they're gonna get there. It's gonna be full effort all the time. So that is a good thing. Their offensive line does concern me with being as experienced as they are, as many games as they've played, the numbers they have put up with Ollie Gordon. That is going to be a huge test for a D line that, not that I don't think it's bad by any stretch, but for a first test out of the gate for the D line, that's a tough test right out the gate, to face that offensive line for the front seven. So that is going to be difficult, and I think it's going to be very important to, when you get your chances to make them be in third and long, to make it count and get off the field. I think that'll be super important if they're able to get, a convert 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, whatever, on the occasions that it happens, then that's when they can take the game over and grind you down with someone like Ollie Gordon, and he starts hitting big runs and big runs and big runs. So Jesus Christ, man. but yeah, so that is the imposing part about them. I think their offense is obviously their strength. I mean, they put up a ton of points last year. And Ollie Gordon obviously is a star. Their wide receivers are studs. They've got a super experienced quarterback. I mean, I don't think they have a weakness on that offense that you can look at and go, well, we can lean on that. But like I've
yeah,
been saying all year, if you're a Jax fan, the thing that makes you feel good about it is if you had to face one really extremely good facet of an offense as a Jackrabbit team, I think everybody would pick a running team 10 times out of 10, because that's what we were built to stop. We were built to stop elite rushing attacks. So that has to
yeah,
give you that's got to make you feel good.
100%. I mean, I think that the D line is our D line is one of the huge keys to the game, from the standpoint of we're replacing some guys, and from the standpoint of we have to live in their backfield or at least hold the line of scrimmage. Because if you're allowing big holes and allowing Ollie Gordon to get ahead of steam, we're just going to be in big trouble. He's going to make guys miss in open space. And then I think Steve mentioned it is our rotation on the D line enough to go the whole game. If you listen to Jimmy's comments, he sounds very optimistic about rolling guys through. He says we've just got to stable the guys that have been waiting to play and that they're ready to go. And they're going to have to, because we against a team like this, you're going to have to be rotating guys through. And I think that's how we were able to have so much success against Iowa's rushing attack, is we were rolling guys through, keeping guys fresh, and we were able to shut down their running attack. I mean, they could barely move the ball against us, and it was mostly credit to our D-line. I mean, it was amazing. Iowa offensive line is no joke. Yep. And our guys were living in their backfield that game.
That's true.
Iowa offensive line is stuff of FBS legends. They just are.
I mean, I would venture to guess that Iowa's offensive line may be better than Oklahoma State's offensive line. I mean, I know they got guys that have been there forever, but I mean, we could do it against them. I would think that we'd be able to have some success against Oklahoma State, and is an absolute key to the game. You mentioned the third down conversions. Another thing I found when I was doing a little research is that their third down conversion on offense wasn't great. It was ranked 66 in the FBS and only a 38% clip. And so, if we can keep them away from those short yardage situations, third and shorts, where they can just hand it to Ollie Gordon or one of their backs and get a couple of yards and make Alan Bowman throw the ball, I think we can have a lot of success. One thing about isn't one Bowman and one Bauman? I think the one from Oklahoma State is Bowman. But
Alex is spicy in the chat, by the way.
He is. He's ready. He's just ready.
I was going to start calling him jalapeno in there. Jesus Christ!
I haven't put a lot of his stuff up. He's been kind of spicy today.
He has. He's got a
problem. Is he can probably pop on screen if we're not careful.
So. I know. And he's going to end up on the internet then.
But back to Alan Bowman. He's a guy that we've talked about. He's been around for a long time. He had some issues with some interceptions last year. One of my predictions for the game is that he'll throw at least one pick. I think our guys will, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see two. He was, where is it at? There it is. Out of 552 quarterbacks in the FBS last year that qualify or that had statistics, he was 547th in ranking of number of total interceptions. He had 14 total interceptions, 9 in his last 5 games. And so he was really prone to giving the ball to the other team. And so I think that can also be a key to the game. If we can stop their run game, make them throw the ball, and maybe get ahead by a score, and make them push a little bit, I think we can have a lot of success. Now, that's not to say that, we're not going to hold them to 100 yards passing or anything like that. They're going to have success in the passing game, but I think that there is some potential there to take the ball away from him, given his past.
Yeah, and I think something that with our safeties and the D-backs we have, I agree that I would predict there's at least one turnover available there. But when you look at this offense that they have, run strong in the run, controls the clock, puts up a bunch of points. Boy, if you just said that, you would think NDSU. What do we say every time about the best way to beat NDSU? You get them off the field, you get points up early, you make them chase points, get them out of their element. If we are able to do that and get them off the field a couple times, and Mark and the boys are able to put some points up, make them down by 2 scores, make them uncomfortable, make them try to chase points a little bit, get them out of their element. I think that's where that really can come into play for us in this game, and could be a big key to success. Now, I think Oklahoma State is much more capable of coming back from being down 2 scores than NDSU will be. I mean, they're let's not kid ourselves. As a Big 12 team, they're able to put points up in a hurry. That's what the Big 12 does. That's like how the Big Sky always is. They're gonna put up points. It's what they do. I think that's a big key, and we need the defense to just the defensive line to eat. We need them to eat up blocks, eat so that the backers can flow free. Let those guys get some speed and hit Gordon hopefully at the backfield before he gets ahead of steam. And they just need to eat the O lineman in front of them, just like I eat cheese curds at Cubby's and Chislik at Cubby's, one of our other lovely segment sponsors that we have, and the Cubby Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Brookings. Best place to watch the game if you're not going to the game in Stillwater, like these 2 lucky gentlemen to my down there, whatever side of me that is. Go to Cubby's, watch the game. It's going to be the best spot in town to watch the game. I'd even venture to say it's probably worth driving up from Sioux Falls to watch the game there if you wanted the best experience. I will be just getting back from Pittsburgh, so I will not be in the mood to drive to Brookings at the time. But if not, I would definitely consider going up there to watch that and have the best viewing experience with roughly 13,000 TVs in that place. Maybe watch it on the rooftop with all the TVs they have up there, some cold beers, some Chislik, and just really live it up that way. So Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, go ahead and give them a try. Thanks for being one of our segment sponsors for the B team.
I counted last time. It was 14,000 TVs, actually.
Ah, shit. I'm good at numbers.
No, yeah, go to Cubby's, watch the game. It's going to be absolutely packed on Saturday, I'm sure. If you happen to be going to the state fair, there is apparently a watch party there too, which is really, really cool.
That is super cool.
It was, I can't remember who was put on by, but apparently I assume they're going to have some big screen and some big speakers there. So yeah, cool option there. Obviously, we kind of own the state in terms of college sports, and so it doesn't surprise me they're having a watch party for SDSU at the state fair.
And I'm going to put this out there. If anybody knows of bars or watch parties or whatever that are in different spots around the state, reach out to one of us on Twitter or send it in Facebook or whatever, and we can kind of collect those and just get those out. So if you're in Rapid and this bar always has the Jacks games, or these bars in Brookings or in Sioux Falls, we assume they're probably all going to have them, but these are really Jacks bars in Sioux Falls. Put those out there and we'll get that name out. Or Lead, Mitchell, wherever, Sturgis, just let us know. We'd love to get that out there for all the fans, and put that out on the SDSU fans page on Facebook and our page, just so you guys are able to see where that is in case you're traveling, whatever.
We should do that. That's been a conversation on the SDSU fans page on Facebook. A lot of people have been asking, hey, I'm here, where should I go watch the game? And I think it would be cool if we had a spot on our site that had like a listing of, towns and bars and towns that have SDSU watch parties. Yeah, we'll it's a production
Dallas
production note. But yeah, I think we'll put out some polls on Twitter and on that Facebook page and get a good list going.
I know the Twin City Jackrabbits have one if you follow their Twitter too.
Yeah,
Twin Cities, places in Minnesota, places in Fargo. I know from personal experience, there's a bunch of Jacks fans up there. So if you guys want to get that together, if you're listening from Fargo, you want that put together and you want us to get that out there, let us know. Iowa, Nebraska, anywhere. You guys let us know. I think that'd be a cool thing for us to be able to get out to the people.
All right. I'm starting the record with the ones that we've got in the chat here.
Look at it. See? Look,
they're just flowing in.
Receive. I love it. They're just screaming in. That's awesome. John Kelly asked earlier what our biggest strengths and our biggest weaknesses are in this game. I'll let you
Before
want to
I
go.
want to,
If you want
I
to,
want to wrap up. We've been talking about their offense a lot.
yes,
I had just a couple more notes on their offense before we kind of move on. We'll probably
I can
talk
tell.
about.
I can tell how pumped up you are for this game because you're pulling stats out that you looked up. Like
I am
that's
really
how I know
excited.
Ben is hyper pumped for a game when I can see him pulling up the
Engaged.
research he's done. Like he
Yeah.
is
It's
locked.
gonna be like
in.
their offense averages 29.5 points per game, 155 yards rushing, 4.8 per.
Granted, all these stats are from last year, so they're kind of irrelevant. But
No, and so the
Well,
reason
everybody
why
back.
completely.
I will say the reason why that I was leaning so heavily into their stats last year is because they have so many returning starters, and knowing that it's a team that's very similar to the one they put on the field last year. Yes, Chad, they scored 29.5 points per game, and they gained 432 yards per game, which was in the top 30 of the FBS last year. And so, yeah, they definitely can move the ball. I will say that they seemed. I'll leave it. I'm going to leave the defensive talk for later. So let's go to back to John's question. Did he say our biggest strength and weakness against them?
Yeah, I think we should go with our biggest
the
question.
delivery. Well done, Sam.
Maybe our biggest questions, not our biggest weaknesses. Just me.
Oh, geez.
Our biggest opportunities.
Our
That's
biggest
what you call 'em.
opportunity. Look at how positive we are. Look at you guys go. I love it.
I'd say our biggest opportunity is for our new offensive line to shine. We're replacing 3 starters on the offensive line. We have a couple transfers we're real excited about. One from UND, one from OU. We got some guys that have been waiting in the wings, ready to shine. So in my opinion, that would be our biggest opportunity in this game. What do you got, Brendan?
Yeah, if I were to go for the biggest opportunity, the biggest question marks, if you will, going into this game, I would say probably both sides of the line, see how they do. Not necessarily because I think they're deficient, but this is a big test. You're facing a big front line as an offensive line, and you're facing that goofy 3-3-5 defense, and they've got big boys on the line of that 3-3-5 as God intended. So that's a big test. And then the D line is going to have their hands full with a really experienced FBS line. That's just reality. They've been there, done that a billion times. And the great thing is all those guys for the last however many years in college have gotten to go against really big, really experienced guys on their own squad, and have been played against, how many former NFL guys before. I think, God, who was it? I think Graham Spalding said that was quoted in one of the articles. He said, I've seen a lot of NFL talent on this team playing here with the amount of guys who've gone to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys we have could play with anybody. So that's a great sign, so that should make you feel good. But I would say those are the 2 biggest opportunities. Chad, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, mostly I agree with that. But one thing I'm kind of interested in, if you listen to Jimmy's show, he was talking about running 14 personnel, and I'd love to see that, but it does sound like our young tight ends might be a little dinged. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see that, but that makes the defense really uncomfortable because, we have tight ends that can basically play as wide receivers, which
Right.
is very much a mismatch against most corners. So I like those odds, and that 3-3-5 is susceptible on the edges and up the seams. So kind of where the tight ends play. So perhaps we see a lot of 14. I mean, it could happen. I'd be really giddy inside if it does. So that's the opportunity in my mind.
Yeah, that would be exciting. A 14 personnel would be wild. And sounds like the talent and the appropriate skill sets are there to use it very effectively. They'd be able to line up and ultra heavy 14, but they'd also be able to spread it out with those same 4 tight ends. And God, that could present a lot of problems for defense. That's wild. That would be cool. What do we think the biggest strengths are?
Strengths, I'm going to go with our ability to stop the run and to rally to the ball. That's just Jimmy's MO. Ever since he's taken over for the defense, he's had an emphasis on stopping the ball. He's an emphasis on rotating D-line, keeping them fresh, and having guys fly to the ball. And that's what you have to do against a guy like Ollie Gordon, and against an FBS team, that's built like Oklahoma State. And so that, in my opinion, is our one of our strengths that I think is one of the biggest keys in this game.
Position correct, mistake-free football on defense, I think, is what's going to help us win the game. We got to do that. And number 11, I mean, number 11, dude, we're gonna go where number 11 takes.
Man, I sure hope he breaks out this year, because
Look,
this would be the best game too, right? Because the doubters eat crow.
Well,
they let you off way too easy on that. By the way, your whole Mark Gronowski being the breakout player of the year.
Why are you booing me? I'm right.
No.
He just popped on ESPN an article on him in ESPN.
Okay, but that's not
he just popped in at the Athletic.
When you're the Walter Payton Player of the Year,
I don't care.
It's not going to be a breakout. Like that
is a breakout.
If he has a giant season, that's a breakout.
That is a breakout.
No, he's already good. A breakout player is
if he ends up getting like top 25 draft pick buzz, that is a breakout.
Top 10.
Whatever. Potato. So you're admitting that it's possible.
Fine. Anyway.
Yeah. Why are you booing me? I'm right. Yes. I was just gonna bring that up because, man, all of a sudden that Mark Gronowski, boy, he's getting some pub, boys. I mean, just saw Pete Thamel had an article on him. The Athletic had an article on him. I mean, man, he's really coming out there, and I think that is absolutely our biggest strength going into this game. If you want to say, strength on weakness per se, or strength on Oklahoma State's opportunity to improve on what their defense was last year, because that was not good. Like, they've got a lot of athletes, they've got a lot of really skilled players, but results-wise, their defense was just not good. That's long and short of it. If it
lots of big plays.
Yeah, lots of big plays, lots of points. I mean, rankings-wise, they were in the hundreds in total defense. They were in the 80s in points per game allowed. And I am excited, and so that makes me excited to see what Mark can do. We know we have the talent on the receiver side and the tight ends and everything. What can Mark do against a defense that for sure is going to be coming out trying to prove itself after the rough year they had? Because we know their linebackers are really good. They got a lot of skill. I want to see Mark against that sort of setup there, and I think the potential is there for him to have a really like a nationally eye-opening game.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the rankings. Yeah, they gave up 29 points per game last year, 86 in the FBS, 442 yards per game, 122nd in the FBS out of 130 teams.
Yeah.
And they gave up third down percent conversions at a clip of 42%, which is 99th in the FBS. What do you got going on over there?
Just set that anywhere.
I knocked a pop
Mountain Dew bottle.
Oh, God.
I'm sad. No.
You didn't answer your own question, by the way.
My own question?
Yeah, you asked us what we thought, and you didn't really.
He said Mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Mark.
Yeah, talking about before.
Taking the easy way out again.
From the other podcast.
You're just mad because I'm right.
Anyway, we need to address
didn't Mark have some throws in spring practice that had NFL scouts going, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't we get that report?
During practice this year,
Yeah. All right. We need to address some things in the chat. I'm going to pull up some things that I have seen as noteworthy. Firewall Santa's ready to go for the season.
Hey,
Friend of the tailgate, friend of the pod. He had some complications and it sounds like he's doing well. That's good. Let's see. What else do we have here? I got to go back a little bit. There was somebody. Oh, there it is.
Ball security. Yep.
Yeah, Brandon says ball security be huge too, especially with the heat and humidity. Yeah, because it's going to be so hot and humid down there that we've never seen the likes of that, according to the newspaper down there. Which is, it's going to be hot, but give me a break. We've just this last week we've had heat and humidity, but yeah, that you pull it up our weather.
Yes, sir. I had something ready to go.
Not a boy.
Yeah, I made fun of
We're
the
looking at
Oklahoma
87 degrees, all 87.
Made fun of the Oklahoman a couple times on Twitter today for saying that they just assume that it's like 72 degrees and breezy up here all the time. Let's see, what else did we have? What was this? Jimmy thinks B is right. I missed that.
He's talking about the Mark Gronowski comment. That's why I
yeah.
threw that up there while you guys.
Oh, he thinks Brennan's right.
Kind of missed whether or not that's what he was picking this time, or from the previous pod where he mentioned it.
Seth Fisher says our biggest strength is plus 16 turnovers versus their plus 2 turnovers. Yeah, 100%. Turnovers can make a huge, huge difference in this game. Neil asks,
when you're playing a team this good, you have to win the turnover battle. We will not win this game losing the turnover battle. Full stop.
Right. We'll have a chance. We'll have a chance if it's 0.
Yes.
But yeah, if we lose the turnover battle, it's going to be a real tough fight. Neil Brunner asks, sorry if you covered it. Thoughts on Angel really breaking out this year, or more likely to see younger guys show out? Angel Johnson, I think, is poised for a huge breakout year behind Amar Johnson. It's going to be fun to see what those two can do. They're ready to shine. I mean, they Isaiah Davis was the man, and he's shown why. He's RB3 on the Jets already, and so I think that Amar's going to have a big year, and I think Angel can really take a step forward. When he showed up on campus, he'd only played running back for not very long before that. So it'll be fun to see what he can do. Andy Fielk asks, outside of Wildy, who do you see as the next rock solid wide receiver? I don't know. I would say Graham Goring's probably got the inside track on it. Just because of his experience so far, and he's shown some good things. He came up big for us in that Montana State game last year. But I think everybody's excited about Crentrell Pregene. Have we decided on that pronunciation?
Prejean.
Anyway, we'll have to figure that out.
I do want to jump back for the Angel Johnson.
Yeah.
Part. Anybody who's listened to the B team knows we are big Angel Johnson fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been hyped for this kid for
2
years.
I was excited when we got into garbage time in games so I could watch him run the ball. I stuck around at games to watch that.
Yep. Love to see a few of those 13 or 14 play drives and wear them down, establish the run, and play action to death. Yes. That'd be fantastic. And I know that is the smart and correct way to go about it, and that is the way they will go about it. But man, just in my heart, I want to see Mark sling it around for a game, and just really sling it around. But that will be by far the most effective way to do this. In the that is a joke. Kevin.
I know.
The southern spade as well as humidity. I tell you what,
the likes of which we've never seen.
The likes of which you ain't never seen. I can just picture Kevin on a porch with a fanning himself. Like
when he says it on his profile, Jesse, it sounds kind of French sounding, like Creole.
Yeah, Prejean. Yeah, he does say Prejean.
Prejean.
Good call. All right. Did we address all the? Somebody mentioned Eskimo Joe's,
Eskimo
which
Joe's is supposed to be great.
hurt a lot of people, but I've heard it's really busy, so I don't know if you'll be able to get in there.
Get there
Maybe,
early.
yeah.
Terry, their running game is phenomenal. They have a Heisman level running back, and likely high first round draft pick running back, which is rare.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge challenge. I mean it's one of if not the top backfields in the FBS. So it's a, but like we've talked about, I think we're built to stop a team like that, and so I think we should have a lot of confidence there.
It's a pertinent question right here. Coin flip.
Brandon asks, "Does Jimmy take the ball first if we win the toss?"
No.
No,
Ain't no
he'll
way
play
no.
defense for sure.
No.
This is Jimmy freaking Rogers we're talking about here. He wants the defense to go hit somebody. That's the game plan. Hit somebody with the defense.
I like this question. Seth Myers, how many plays do you think we see Chase on the field this Saturday? That's another interesting thing to see this year is like, how much are we going to use him? How are we going to use him? I think everybody sees the potential that he has. And I think we've got a creative coaching staff that's going to look for ways to get him the ball. So real excited to see that this year as well. And in this game, I mean, I think that when you face, and we used to do it against NDSU all the time. We don't do it as much anymore just because we're as good or better than NDSU, but we used to have these trick plays. You gotta throw a team off when they're better than you. And I think I'm not afraid to say that Oklahoma State's better than us. I mean, there's a reason why they're favored by 9.5 points. And so I think we'll see something tricky, whether it's, a trick play or two, a formation that we've never seen that they wouldn't be ready for. But I would not be surprised by that at all.
Well, you know what? Did you watch the latest Mic'd Up? Which, first off, love that the team's doing that and have a creative content editor now working for them. That's awesome. But the team put out a Mic'd Up with Chase Mason and Mark Gronowski today. Did you get to see that?
I did not. No.
It was fantastic.
There was far less karaoke than I was promised at the end.
Yeah, I was promised a lot of karaoke at the beginning, and there was like 2 seconds of Mark softly singing Roxanne. So, Mark, come on, Ryan, tell Mark to step it up here if he's gonna promise karaoke. We want karaoke.
We will gladly give him a few minutes to come do karaoke on our show.
Right, we'll have the Mark karaoke hour. He's going out and doing the show for the Rapid City radio show. He can do. We'll give him 5-10 minutes for karaoke hour on the B team.
That would be very on brand of us. We have Mark Gronowski on. We've got him singing karaoke.
Don't talk any football.
You guys asking football questions? No. We let the fans pick a song and he sings it. That's what we do. Yeah, that'd be incredible. But it was fun to see because they had Mark and Chase mic'd up. Seeing those guys interact, you could tell how well those dudes get along, which was really fun to see kind of that in person. Well, in person, that's not the right way to say that, but see it in that setting during practice.
Yeah. For some reason, this guy's name is the Kumquat. Yes, he says, what position or position groups?
Spelled correctly.
Yeah, it is. What position or position groups do you think we have the advantage in? I would postulate QB at the very least, which is the most important role. 100% we have the advantage at QB.
Too bad they don't play each other.
Right. Outside of that, it's hard to somebody else. I'll relate it to somebody else's. Ryan Drake says, can't wait to see our tight ends eat. I am excited to see our tight ends, and haven't heard much about what they have at the tight end position. So we may, have an edge there just with the potential talent and the depth of talent that we have at the tight end.
I'd say safety.
Safety, I would agree there.
They're stacked at safety.
They are stacked.
They do have
absolute studs at linebackers.
So they have one really good linebacker. They got a couple studs at D line.
But we do have Adam effing Bach.
We do have Adam Bach. I bet
Your guy had
Bach is
140 tackles last year.
yeah.
It's a
I would
book.
say after him, then Bach. Then it'd probably be interesting after that. But
Well, to be fair, bad defenses
Yeah.
tend to have one dude who has a shitload of tackles.
100%. I mean, they
And I'm
They
not saying it's
had-
bad. I'm just saying that does pump numbers a little bit.
they had real bad missed tackle issues last year. Gundy said that he says that it was because they didn't make them have as much contact in the fall camp leading up to the season, and so they've been more aggressive this year. He said he was worried about injuries last year, and so we'll see if that makes a difference. But in my opinion, either you tackle well or you don't. I don't know that the way you practice in fall camp is going to make a difference there.
It is easy to look, Rev-Ass is Oklahoma State a trap game for SDSU because they have a tough University of Incarnate Word coming up on the calendar. It is hard not to look past Oklahoma State when you have someone as imposing as Incarnate Word, which, you say that sarcastically. Incarnate Word is really good, but it's not a trap
Who's your
game because
quarterback?
IW is week 3 and we've got the Augie game there. So in between that.
Right. To finish up the comparison, we have a better center. We
Yes.
have Gus frickin' Miller.
Gus Bus.
Us.
He's a beast. So
I see that, and all I can think of is bench warmers when the dude can't think of a comeback, and he's like, Gus. Yeah,
Bus.
really? Gus Bus? Oh, you got me there.
let's see. Can Jimmy grow a better mullet than Gundy? Gundy's got a
Jimmy-
sweet
They got the
mullet.
same.
I think
They got the same quality of mullet right now. So
I think Jimmy can do whatever he wanted to better than Gundy if he put his mind to it. So I'm just if he really wanted to. But man, that man is he is on a mission, and I got a feeling the team's on a mission going into this game. I do think they're going in to prove a point. I know a lot of people commented how fired up they were after his press conference, which out of context, it's even a colder quote of saying, we've been done with moral victories for a while. We're only coming down there to do one thing. Taken out of context, super cold. In context, I think there was a little bit of, I swear to God, if any of you ask me if we'll be happy if we walk out of there with a close game, I'm going to come off this podium and beat you with a microphone. I think there was that undertone to that a little bit.
Right.
Like it had that little bit of don't ask me that shit. You're gonna get the response you deserve. So I think there was some of that too, but yeah, wait till Jimmy turns 40, says Seth. That's funny.
yeah, he's not even a man yet. Oh, he's a man.
He's 40.
One guy we haven't talked about yet is Alex Wilde.
Alex Wilde?
Excuse me, Griffin Wilde.
Yeah, you're throwing it
I don't
back
know what this
to the
Alex
Buck
guy-
game or what? That's the
Jeez,
last time you had a
guys.
reception, I think.
Griffin Wilde, who by all accounts is just a man child now.
He put on
Yes.
20 pounds.
Yeah.
Lord, we're doing work in the weight room.
But as that one guy said, maybe it was fat.
Come
That
on.
one dude he was the parent of a Montana State player.
Yeah.
Maybe it was fat and then he just got drugged. And he's like, "What? I didn't say it was." Like, oh, shut up.
But anyway,
My baby's
no,
watching
I
it.
think
Drop that
that's
blood.
one of my other picks in this game or predictions is that we hit Wilde on a deep ball. Gronowski missed one in the Iowa game that I know he wants back, and I think that Wilde gets loose on a deep ball and we surprise them. It would be awesome to do it early and just kind of get that doubt in their minds right away. But I do see that happening, or that's one of my predictions in this game is that Wilde's going to get a deep one or a touchdown.
Yes, I completely agree. I'm pumped to see how he does with matured into a
Mhm.
man out there. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But someone else we didn't talk about yet, who could have a huge impact on the game, is one Mr. Hunter Dustman. I'm not saying I don't think this will be a field position game all game, but early I think it could end up being, potentially big if you end up winning the field possession or field position battle and flipping the field, pinning them deep, and all of a sudden you've got great field position to get a quick score. That'd be massive. So um,
I mean, look what
he's
Iowa's punter
Rep
did to us.
X. Yeah, right.
Like
You've seen Torrey Taylor.
their punter won them the game.
Yeah,
And so
Literally.
yeah, it can be huge. I mean special teams, yeah, it's something we haven't talked about yet and we don't talk about enough. But yeah, the punting, if we're gonna get stopped, it's gonna happen.
yes,
And if Dustman can pull off some deep punts and kind of make sure that we don't get pinned in our own end of the field, it's going to be huge. And then obviously, if he gets an opportunity to knock a field goal in, put it in. It could potentially be loud down there, and but I don't think he'll have a problem with it. If you didn't catch the Jimmy Rogers show, I recommend going to listen to it. They interviewed Hunter Dustman on that show, and it was cool to hear from him. And Miriam asked him about this being his last year, and he got choked up, because he was like, "Man, I just love it here so much, and you guys have been so supportive." And it's just so cool to hear how much our support means to them, and how much of a difference we make in their lives. And so I recommend going to listen to that. And also Jimmy's comments were good in it too, as always. But yeah, definitely Hunter Dustman can be big in this game.
I also thought it was cool that his first kick as a high schooler was a 30-yard field goal. That's pretty.
No, that was as a fifth grader, he said.
Oh, was it a fifth grader? Okay, well,
Yeah.
it was first
He
high
was
school
making-
game.
incredible.
He was
It is
making
incredible.
30-yard field goals as a fifth grader, which is stupid.
But to be fair, all right. To be fair, the nice thing we do have going, this is wild. The freshman who came in as a kicker, who will be the heir apparent when Hunter's gone, did not miss a field goal in the entirety of fall camp.
Fun
He
fact.
was
Did not know
28 for 28. So we got one coming. The kumquat, dude, I'm starting to think that if this was spelled with a C instead of a K, I would think it's ROT69 trying to sneak into our chat.
I'm thinking it's the same guy. 100% my thought as
Smells
well.
like that,
Smells like Idaho.
Chris Hammond.
Yeah. It smells like a mountain range is what it smells like.
Unconfirmed, but yeah.
Ram 1500 pickup trucks with butt rock.
Some of the other keys to the
Said
game
it's
that I had written down. I guess first of all, we need to talk about if you are wondering if you're financially stable.
Look at you go. What a pro.
I would go talk to Northwestern Mutual. They've got the guys to help you out, and they have a bunch of former players on their staff, former SDSU players that are great to deal with. Whether it's from life insurance to investments, they can get you taken care of. So thank you to Northwestern Mutual for supporting the podcast.
And,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Nope, you're good.
No, do you have another ad read you want to do?
No, I don't. I was
Okay.
just going to add on to yours, but I was like, you know what? He summed it up well. I got nothing. Ben's got it. What am I even talking for?
The financials.
A couple of the other keys that I had was, we've mentioned it a little bit, but I think in a game like this against a good team like this, you need to have good line play on both sides of the ball. We got to protect Mark. We got to open up some holes on offense. And then on defense, like we talked about, we got to plug those holes. We got to live in their backfield. So in my opinion, I think that might be the biggest key. And we saw it against Iowa. I mean, we were our defensive line against Iowa is what kept us in the game. And so I think that's going to be similar in this game. If our defensive line plays well, we will be in the game, and we'll have a good chance to go win it. On top of that, we talked about the turnover battle. If we do have a turnover, it can't be for a touchdown. We can't give up a big play like that, a big scoring play. So we definitely have to protect the ball. Got to tackle well. Talked about making them throw to convert on third downs. And I'll go back to their quarterback. I think he's going to be a big key to the game, how well he plays. Has he improved from the end of last year, or does he start throwing the ball to the other team again? He didn't have a real good completion percentage either last year. So it'll be real interesting to see how Bowman plays this year. I think that's all I had for keys anyway. You got any more keys to the game?
My key is Mark's going to have a big game, I think. Not like huge. I'm not saying he's got to pass for like 350 yards, but you're playing a team this caliber, you're going to have to make the big throws. Mark's done it over and over and over for us, so I have all the faith in the world that he's going to do it, but he will need to make some big plays, and that's my key for the game.
I was in the same thinking as Seth Fisher here. What are the chances that we see? Well, I guess the flash was kind of Stig's thing, but what are the chances that we see a Wildcat formation this year with? And if we see it, why not in this game with the two QBs on the field? They're both legit threats to run and both legit threats to throw.
You know what I want to see if we have a Wildcat package? I want to see Mark Gronowski to Chase Mason pop pass over the middle. Nobody will see it coming. Nobody.
Just like Pierre Strong did.
Yeah.
I also want to see the reverse. Like I want to see Chase Mason pop pass to Mark Gronowski too.
That'd be awesome as well.
See both.
But do we know, can Mark catch the ball? I'm assuming he can.
I would assume so. But he seems like a pretty decent athlete.
Yeah, he's pretty okay at the athletics.
All right. Well, let's get to predictions. Since the A team didn't do it, we're gonna do it.
We can't do predictions. We got scared money don't make money.
Just general predictions. We're not picking against the spread or anything. I will tell you that I did more research, Brendan. The USA Today predicted Oklahoma State to win 34-20. A couple other scores I found, they had Oklahoma State 27-23, 32-24, 41-21. Didn't find any with SDS or predicting SDSU to win the game. I am going to predict. I mean, this will spoil my pick, my against the spread pick for Scared Money Don't Make Money, which whatever. We'll be picking all kinds of games. We're going to do that tomorrow night. I guess we don't need the show. Is that correct? We're doing it tomorrow night?
Sure.
I mean, you get the Kenkel model on that show. So
I'll be there. I don't have anything else to do at nights, so why not?
Fine. I'll hold my prediction. Tune in tomorrow night to see my prediction.
Oh, you tease. You dirty tease. You're such a dirty tease.
Terry's got a prediction. She says 24-21 Jacks. I like that. Yes, Dustin, I will be doing anything I can to not have to wear a hot dog costume again.
What is the punishment going to be this year? Have we decided?
We haven't decided.
It really
ratcheted up late. Yeah,
it really ratcheted up from last year. And this year it might just be they're going to have to streak across the field at the national championship.
No, it can't be something that gets you put in jail.
Yeah, no arrests.
I wore a hot dog costume on a podcast in public.
You sir, earned that hot dog costume.
Have your face on the internet in a hot dog costume. You can still pick your kids up from school. If you go streaking across the football field,
you're a sex offender.
There's a potential that you can't pick your child up from school or go to their games anymore.
Okay.
No, I won't be doing that.
Just top off then.
That's still, you're going to jail.
Hey, don't lose. I'm just kidding. No,
top off wouldn't get you out of the registry though.
Okay, all right, let's go. All right.
No.
Nope, too late. You get to deal with Ariel when I go to jail. That's
trash puppy costume. They're using that logo too in their graphics. They haven't learned that it's cringe.
That doesn't
Terrible.
look like a trash puppy. That looks like something else.
This person says they're heading to Stillwater. Hope to see y'all
It
there.
looks like a furry logo. That's what it looks like.
That
say it.
person also is the one that created the video with the jackrabbit beating the crap out of the bear with the blue fiddle.
Oh, is that the kumquat?
That's the kumquat. He said that. I just didn't put it up, so.
There we go. Right on. I did see Rev bring up the Alex's Lemonade Stand thing. I think we're going to save our powder for something as it comes up through the season, so we can do something really cool, like get Italian nachos back. Yeah, it would be cooler than just throwing out $5 win or not, and that's awesome if you're doing that. I'm not saying that's not awesome, but I want to be creative a little bit.
Yeah.
So we will do that when the time comes. I do have confirmation we will only have one SDSU athlete in that to win, so they will not be spreading out our funds over 3 so that USD can cheat their way to a win.
Are you unable to share who that is?
I don't know who it is. I just know it is one person. And also, while we're here, and shilling stuff out, give us a like, a share, a follow. If you can go like the YouTube, like the Facebook. We have a massive amount of fans on Twitter.
The Grizz tattoo.
Oh, the tattoo one. That's tough.
Face tat?
No,
no.
I gotta go in hospitals, man.
To make him get a tear.
Oh my God. Yeah, if you can give us a like, share, follow Facebook, Twitter. If you can head over to Twitter and like it, watch us on YouTube over Twitter. It's much appreciated. But yeah, that does a lot. If you share with your friends, things like that. We are in a golden age, though, beyond what we do here at Jackrabbit Illustrated, just of SDSU coverage. I remember back when it was Terry V, and that was it. And so you waited for the articles to pop in the Argus Leader. And yes, we will be doing the late post-game show with Borg. I was just talking to him today. As of right now, we are on. We'll see how plans go this week, but we will be doing the late show. But yeah, we're like in this wild golden age. Like, we had enough stuff pop out today that I was not even able to get through like half of it. Of just Jack's content. There was the Sioux Falls Live had a couple articles, couple videos came out on it. I know Dakota News Now is doing a pregame show during the week here coming up. That's Borg is hosting. Plus FCS Nation, all the other hair raisers, splitting hairs, all those places. Like, it is so awesome, the amount of SDSU content and coverage, plus the national stuff that's starting to notice SDSU as the true and rightful SDSU. But yeah, it's really, I just think it's really cool right now, and I wanted to bring that up. It kind of boggled my mind today. I'm like, I don't think I ever remember not being able to keep up with the amount of articles that's come out before and content and everything else.
I don't know. You guys do pretty good in the chat, keeping me on my toes. Like, I got a job.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's the product of winning 2 championships. I mean, when that happens, the coverage follows. But no, it's great to see. We used to be starved for content. I mean, that's why we started this whole thing. That's why Matt started what he did. Way back in the days, he thought there needs to be more SDSU coverage, and so he did what he could do, and he's turned it into this awesome thing, which is so fun to be a part of. And the other part of the having 2 championships is people are having trouble getting tickets now, which is awesome. What I would recommend is get season tickets.
Yes.
It's gonna start to be the only way to get tickets to some games, and so if you want to secure a ticket, I would get a season ticket. I'd bet that if you called the ticket office right now, they'd have an option for you. So I would highly recommend that.
Well, I think we're to the point where next year, even if you had season tickets and you want to get extra tickets for the single games when they go on sale, you're going to want to know the time that they start, and you are on Like you're waiting for concert tickets that are hard to get, and you're going to be in buying those tickets as soon as that clock flips over because
100%.
it's a lot of these games, man, that you're
Like
not going to be able to
September
get into.
3rd at noon.
I was just going
Right.
to say that that will happen before our next. Well, no, not before our next pod. Well,
Not
I don't know when we're doing
before.
a podcast next week. Anyway, the pre-sale, if you bought tickets last year to the national championship, is on September 3rd. I believe it's at 11 Central. On September 3rd, the next level after that is on September 4th. So make sure to buy some national championship tickets. I know there were some people begging for tickets last year to that too. It's always a good time. Usually is a pretty good investment. I mean, even if SCSU were to happen to make it, you'd be able to get rid of them. So highly recommend buying national championship tickets next week. And it is, as Brandon says
This is
here, it's
Monday night.
on a Monday night, which is going to be so sweet to have a night
Dude,
game
it's
in
gonna be-
Frisco.
Dude, we were a mess at like 11 in the morning last night.
We were a mess. Some of us were a mess on Midco.
Yeah, on live TV, some of us, maybe all of us present, were a mess. I just really want to thank Matt for giving us the opportunity. We really enjoy being here.
I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Fun.
All right.
But no, I'm pumped that it's Monday night. Honestly, I think it's sick. I always ended up taking 2 days off of work anyways to go down, so I don't really mind if I have Monday, Tuesday off to get back, and then you've got all Saturday to hang out, party, explore. All Sunday if you want to go check stuff out around Dallas, Frisco area, and then all freaking day to party.
I don't know. We're gonna
Sick.
Are they gonna open lots as early? Because I'm sure they're gonna have like more of an 8 o'clock start time, aren't they?
I feel like if they do
we'll still be
they'll
there,
have
right?
a start
We'll
time,
still be there.
but I got a feeling that it's gonna be like,
you're almost gonna have to do 2 meals.
I bet you a nickel that they'll have a start time, but they won't have anybody enforcing it.
Probably not.
Everybody will be there because it'll be new and they won't know what they're doing this one time.
Yep.
I like this.
That's true. I did serve a lot of sandwiches and I forgot to eat one myself.
That might have resulted in.
Dude, that's so easy to happen at tailgating.
It
It happens to me all the time. I make a bunch of food and I'm like, here, you eat. And then my Ariel will walk up to me and she'll be like, eat some goddamn food, and like hands me a plate. Because I'm a child and I'm not capable of properly taking care of myself.
That's why you have a wife.
That's what wives are for.
I'm confused with this question.
I'm confused with this question too, but I think what you're getting at is what bars are there to hang out at? And we've heard Eskimo Joe's as a recommendation. I have a buddy said Stone Cloud Brewing would be excellent. I know their beer's really good, so I might check them out myself.
The kumquats question's funny. You have advice for those of us who wish to avoid the B team. See, Kumquat's got the right strategy here. He probably does want to avoid us because we're a shit show. But
that, and you end up with us, and you might not remember all the game.
Go to places without alcohol, and you won't see us.
We're firmly in garage time now. Where's Jim when you need him?
Jim.
I think he's just enjoying the show too much. He just wants us to continue. He misses us.
Oklahoma's leaving. As for my driving experience, that has been factual.
We have not warned Stillwater about needing Busch Light.
No, we'll have to bring our own.
Yeah.
There we go.
Got cigar lounges. We got all sorts of stuff.
Perfect. We will see you guys tomorrow night on Scared Money Don't Make Money. I believe it will be at the same time at 8:30. We'll tweet something out about that. Until then, as always, go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Go Jacks. Hi, honey. Hi, Zena.